Dr. Ilana Gelman here, naturopathic doctor, and welcome back to my kitchen. So we're continuing on the 4 things that make a balanced meal. And we're on number 4, so we're almost done. Now, just to remember, the first one is a healthy protein, the second one is a healthy fat, third one are colorful vegetables, and the fourth one is a nutrient-dense carbohydrate. If you do not have all 4 things on every plate, it's not a balanced meal. So, what is a nutrient-dense carbohydrate? Well, it's exactly what it says. It's a nutrient-dense, meaning that we are going to be very mindful of whatever carbohydrates we choose to input in our body is going to give us the most nutrients that we can actually benefit from. Now, there are loads of different carbohydrates out of the market, and in fact, my opinion is that the more carbohydrates that we've been eating in our population, the more excess weight gain there has been, the more increased heart disease risk, definitely the more increase to diabetes. And so we really want to limit those carbohydrates and really, truly make sure that every time we get carbohydrates, that it's going to be in a balanced meal so that other things are going to now offset the sugar spike that occurs in our body and the insulin spikes that occurs, which then leads to inflammation, leads to weight gain, leads to high blood sugar, leads to a myriad of things that we can prevent by eating nutrient-dense carbohydrates. So I'm going to show you my favorite ones, and we're going to go from there. The first one, and the first category, I would say, of nutrient-dense carbohydrates are your root vegetables. My first and favorite one are yams and sweet potatoes. So here we go. What's a yam? It's orange inside. What's a sweet potato? It's white inside. Same families, just different species, and they're both delicious and very nutrient-dense. Now, they're still sugars. They're complex carbohydrates, just meaning that there's some more fats, some more fiber in it, not fats, but a lot of nutrients, a lot of antioxidants. The orange shows that there's a lot of vitamin C. There's minerals in here, there's magnesium, there's zinc, there's iron. I mean, small trace amounts, but they're nutrient rich and they keep you full longer, okay? So these are yams. Now, easiest way to make them. I've already washed them off. I go ahead and I get a pan just like this, a baking sheet, put foil on it for easy cleanup, and I literally place them on my baking sheet, as so. I turn the oven up to 400 just for time's sake. Before I start all my meal prepping, which is starting right now, I put my yams in for the week. So here we go. And that's that. Easy as cake, and that's it. It's as simple as that. I wash them, I put foil on a pan, and I put them in the oven, and now I've got nutrient-dense carbohydrates for the week. Those are my yams. All right, another thing that I love, parsnips. Who would have thought? People don't use parsnips as much anymore, and they're just so sweet and delicious, and I love them. And I do the same thing with yams. They're already washed. I don't even skin them, and put them on a baking sheet. Sometimes I'll coat them with some coconut oil, some olive oil, but this time I'm just going to put them right in the oven. I'm going to season them at the end. So here we go. Now, the trick to these, especially for the yams, not as much the parsnips, but it's my secret tip, is that you want to see that they're oozing with the syrup, those yams at the end. That's when you know when they're done. They're so sweet, they're a little bit more mushy, but that's the perfect time where you want to take them out of the oven. Sometimes it's 45 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, depends on the size and the temperature that you have going. But just play around with it and just wait for that oozing little liquid coming out. Okay, so that's yams, sweet potatoes, parsnips, root vegetables. Another root vegetable. Beets. Beets are delicious. Now, beets can come with the greens. You could just buy them loose without the greens. Or if you really don't want to cook them because they do take some time and they can stain your fingers, you can also buy them like this. Trader Joe's sells them like in the package. I don't recommend the canned ones. They have lost all their nutrients because of their process, and they add sugar to them, which we don't want. Now, beets are easier than you think. These are already washed, and I'm simply just going to rip them off of their stalk, and I boil them. Now, I don't usually boil many vegetables, but these I boil because you'll see the skin actually comes off so easily once you boil them. Then, after they're boiled and they're soft, and essentially you know that after about 30 minutes you can put a knife or a fork in. If it's soft, then you know that they're ready. You drain them, let them cool, then the skins come right off of them. You just peel them right off. Versus when I have to cut these up, they stain my fingers, they stain my cutting board. I can roast them. I could do it like that too. I can steam them. You could do anything you want, but I just like boiling them. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got my pot all set up. It's already boiling, so I'm going to put these in. So today you're cooking with me. Appreciate that. All right, so now that's all set. All right, Now, another thing, let's see, for root vegetables are always my, carrots. Now, sometimes I buy whole carrots and I put them in the oven just like the parsnips, or sometimes I buy shredded carrots. This is so easy. I just saute them with some coconut oil, some salt, sprinkle them on top of salads. I can put them in casseroles. I can put them in my crustless quiche. I can put them on the side for anything. This just makes things easy, and I love that. So that's that for my root vegetables. The other vegetables that I always consider as my #1 top choice are my squashes. So these come in all forms, these winter squashes. Butternut squash, this is a kombucha squash. Then we also have a spaghetti squash. This is a spaghetti squash. And I love using this in place of pasta. It's my favorite. So easy. You cut it in half, you take out the seeds, and then you put it in the oven, and you wait till it gets mushy enough where you just scrape out, and then it's just like spaghetti. Same thing with these squashes. You cut them in half, take out the seeds, and you could just bake them. I've also had recipes where you can even just put this entire thing into a crock pot, and then it gets soft enough where you can cut it up, and then it's all set. So those, what I would say, are my #1 top nutrient-dense carbohydrate. Now, next week, I'm going to go over my #2 nutrient-dense carbohydrate so we can finish off the series. But because this is going a little bit longer, I want to just make sure that you understand all my top #1 nutrient-dense carbohydrates, why they're so important for you to eat, because they're so nutrient dense, rich in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fiber. Soluble fiber helps with weight loss. It helps with your sugar cravings. These are so healthy for you. And why not use this instead of bread and pasta? But I'm going to still share some more with you next week. And for right now, you see how easy it is to make. The beginning of the week, I make so many of them. So my salad bar, when I look in my refrigerator, it's like my deli case, I always have some nutrient-dense carbohydrates ready for me. All right, enjoy the week, and I look forward to sharing more nutrient-dense carbohydrates next week. All right, have a good one. Bye.